Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Big up to you, Gunners, guys and girls. Good chat last night. Really, really nice to catch up with you guys on a Sunday and a Wednesday night. Yeah, if you didn't sort of catch the drift. Yes, we do a show every Sunday and Wednesday, and it was really good to catch up with you guys. And a lot of subscribers, man. About since we broke the 3,000, we're now at 3,300. So we've had 300 new subscribers in the last 48 hours. So welcome to you all, and I hope you're enjoying the content. But listen, also, for those of you who are not aware, I have a personal channel called Apollo Dean Campbell, and I've just uploaded my review of Tenant. So if you don't know where that is, it's in the description below. But let's move on with some football news. Again, last night in the chat, we covered some really sensitive topics. Kind of really good to get you lots feedback in the chat as well, because some of you guys were like really on the ball with it. You know, what we're going to do with Lacazette, what are we going to do with Ozil. Some was happy that Ozil was back in the fray. Others were just like, let him go. But for the others that were saying just let him go, you can't, because you're tied to the hip with this contract that we signed. We know what the last 6 months is like with doing nothing with Ozil, and there's some good and bad in it. And good is the team won the FA Cup final. The bad is that you're just paying this guy all this money and you just didn't even use him at all. And I think yesterday the consensus with everybody was there's plenty of football to go around this season. Fixtures are very condensed. League Cup, FA Cup, Europa Cup, the league itself, and there's enough games to go around, guys. There's 60 to 65 games to play. In a condensed season, I'm sure Ozil would be able to make himself accountable and earn some of that money, because that's what it is. Whatever Arsenal did at the front office didn't work. You're paying the guy for doing nothing. At least let him earn his money. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. With Lacazette, it's a little bit more sensitive. As I said yesterday, Lacazette has only got 2 years left on his deal. Remember, the front office said, we are going to be offering contracts to everybody who's got at least 2 years running. If they don't accept, then we're going to sell them. Where you are with Lacazette, and it seems to be on a downhill trend. If you look at the goals and the assists, they're on their way down, yeah? And that's not a good place to be, 18. And that's not a good place to be, because what it's actually saying is this player's not improving here, and it's time that you find another option. Now look, having a striker that can score more than 10 goals a season is quite easy, yeah? Lacazette had a dreadful start to the year and came on strong in the latter parts of the season. But even then, he was beaten out by Eddie Nketiah, and although the goals for Lacazette started coming in, the defensive performances from him didn't, yeah? They were average at best, and Nketiah has shown an aptitude for strong, very strong forward defensive pressing, which is exactly what Arteta's looking for. So there's another angle that Lacazette actually doesn't suit the system that we're running. But look, if we sell him, we'll get good money from him, we can move on. If we don't, then they're going to sit down and start having contract talks with him. Because for me, how are you going to present having a new contract for a guy that is just not giving you enough at that position? That's where I'm kind of questioning it. Top teams in Europe are strengthening, not weakening. So if you've got a striker that is year on year giving you less goals and creating less chances, I think that's something you got to look at if you're Arteta. I think you can do a lot more with the amount of money that you're paying this guy per week and the worth in his contract. There are teams in Europe that do not have strikers and are absolutely scraping the bottom of the barrel for a good striker, and Lacazette fits that bill. So I think if you're Arsenal, you need to entertain that. You need to entertain the option of, look, what can we get for this guy? Because we have other strikers who are on the way up, who can carry us. And then you've got some kids coming through who are adept at that position. So I think Arsenal need to seriously take a look at that. There's also an update on Thomas Partey, guys. I gave the update yesterday on the show about we had a second bid rejected from Oa, so I don't think that's going to be going anywhere. So the fact that Leon had put the price up on the player is just, me nah see that, me nah feel it at all. Yeah, I'm not feeling that at all, bro. And I think with Partey, that's what we're all feeling. And look, Atletico are not asking for much. They're just asking for what it says on the tin. Yeah, what the clause is, what the agreement is. They're not in the game of playing silly games with Arsenal. That's not their mindset. They actually came back to Partey and said, how about sitting down talking about a new deal? And he knows that that's not going to take place until next season because they don't have the money. And I think he's made it well known that it's either Arsenal or bust. And bust means staying at Atletico. And right now, guys, as I said, if I had to give a percentage of where this deal was, I would say that Arsenal are about 70% there in terms of getting a Partey deal. And it's just going to take a bit of time to get this money together so that we can make that splash move. And that would be the deal of the summer for me. That would be the one that says Arsenal are serious about contenders. Not contending, yeah? Remember, there's a difference between trying to get top 4 and trying to win a title. And I think if you get Thomas Partey, then you can round your team off to where you can have a push at Liverpool and Man City. We don't want to be talking about Chelsea and Man United. We don't. What's the point of getting top 4? All right, top 4 Champions League football, I get that. Rah, 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 rah. I get it. But if you get someone like Thomas Partey, that's a game changer. That's Thomas Partey, with the defenders that we have, is a complete game changer. And I think that that is the route that Arteta wants to take. Arteta is in it to win it. Yeah, he ain't in it to just be part of the numbers. And where we are at the moment now, while Chelsea and Man United have a great squad, Arsenal has a great manager. And that, guys, is a big difference. We saw in the FA Cup final, the difference between an average manager and a great manager can be the difference. And if you flood Arteta, if you support him, if you surround him with great players, then boy, it's on. It's on! So that's where the team is at the moment. But we just have to ensure that, you know, this transition is going to take a few transfer windows. But focusing on the defence, guys, I came to the conclusion that I don't think that Gabriel or Saliba is going to play against Fulham. We did our team sheet last night. It was a good team sheet, actually. It was Martinez in goal. It was Tierney, Holding, Luiz, and it was Niles as the back 4. The 2 holding is Ceballos and Xhaka. And then we had the 3 playing in front of them, which is the providers. We had Aubameyang, we had Willian, and then we had Pepe. And then up front, we had Nketiah, yeah? That was our first 11 that we were going for in the Fulham game. So it would be interesting for those of you who didn't catch the show last night. What would your starting 11 be? Leave that in the comment section below. And overall, guys, looking at the team defensively, comparing Gabriel and Saliba to Van Dijk, the passes are kind of nominal. You know, Gabriel pretty much beat Saliba in every department. Passes, tackles, not interceptions, but clearances, blocks, aerial duels, and aerial duels won. So as Bertram alluded to a couple of weeks ago, Gabriel is the more developed player. Yeah, he's 22, Saliba's 19. So Gabriel, you'd expect for him to come out the blocks and start early on. But I think Arteta's going to sit these guys and say, look, this is how the Premiership works. This is how this is the intensity we play at. This is what you guys have to defend against. This is what it looks like. But overall, I think that it's a really good measuring stick looking at where the defenders compare to the best in the league. And I really think that we've got a bona fide pair of bookends to take us to the next level. And that's going to be important as this team grows. And it's nice, isn't it, that for the next 5 to 10 years, Arsenal don't actually have to worry about centre-backs. If you look at the linchpin, Arsenal now look like they're doing an about turn on Rob Holding. So with David Luiz in his last year of his contract, he only signed a 1-year deal. He's 32 years old. Rob Holding's 25 years old, and he still has a few years left on his deal. So I think, what do you do when David Luiz is gone? Do you pin Rob Holding in the back there? So you're looking for a kind of a developer, an experienced guy, a mediator who can help develop the 2 bookends that we have in Gabriel and Saliba. And Rob Holding can do that. Yeah, look, Rob Holding can do that. When defending in space and positioning, he's as good as anybody. And I think he's been solid throughout. And with the performances that he's had of late, I think that he's somebody that will definitely grow into the role. He's definitely adept at doing something like this. And I would bring that forward. I really would. I think Arteta's thinking about it now. I think you've got so many players that are injured. He got Mari's injured. Chambers is injured. You've got Mustafi who's injured. You've got so many injuries there. And I think with Holding, do you pull the trigger on selling him? It's tight, yeah? It's tight, and it's something that a wise, smart man probably wouldn't do. And look, guys, like I said, transfer window's open for another month. So Pulling the trigger on that now may cost you in an area of need, yeah? Hard to say 9 centre-backs is an area of need when you got so much of them. But it's just that you can't do anything with the guys who are injured at the moment. And for that reason, you know, what do you do with Chambers? What do you do with Mustafi? We'll have to wait and see. But guys, that's where I'm going to leave it. Thanks for supporting the channel. Big up to everybody who participated in the live show. And there's a lot of you guys who are just watching the live show but not putting any comments in. We need you to put your comments in. We want to hear what you guys are thinking about. We want to hear your feedback. We want to hear what's on your mind, because that's what's important to us, yeah? As a community, we want to hear your voice. We want you to have your say. Big up to everybody. Nice one, guys. Speak to you later. Peace out.